Hi everybody, today we are going to deal with the lesson of passive voice and the use of forming sentence from active to passive. So, as you can see here, right on the top of the board, the definition or the use of the passive voice, which is used when the focus is on the action. So, it's not important or not now, however, who or what is performing the action. So as you can see in the example here, a letter was written. For example here, we do not know who wrote the letter. It's unknown, so which means what is important for us when we deal with the passive voice is that we emphasize the action. So which is the act of a letter was written. So it's not important who did that. Okay, this is the first part. Now we move to how we form a sentence or how we move or rewrite a sentence from active to passive. So generally speaking here, when we say active, it's what? It's always subject plus verb, plus object. And, for example, in national exam, you will always have the object given right at the beginning of the sentence, and you do the rest here. So, let's see how we form the passive voice. So, as you can see here, again, the subject, the verb, object. Object is number 3, so we start always by the object to form the passive. Followed by what? Followed by the verb be in the tense of the verb. Let me explain this. For example, if we have the verb in simple present, we write the verb be in simple present, which is am or is or are. But if it is in the past, we conjugate the verb be in the past, which is was or were. If it is in present continuous, for example, I'm talking about the verb here, we write the verb be in the present continuous, which is am being or is being or are being. And it's always like that. Then we follow the verb be by the past participle of the principal verb that we have already in the active sentence. So the verb here is always in the past participle. Okay, now question. What about the subject? So, if the subject is known, we mention it here by writing, for example, by. So if we have a subject like son, we're going to write by son. If it is the doctor, by the doctor. The teacher, by the teacher. Student, by student. The government, by the government. But if we have, for example, he or she or it or any other personal pronoun, so it's not necessary, or we just don't mention the subject. Okay? And sometimes it's not always with the personal pronouns, and even, for example, we have like someone. So this someone is unknown. We don't know who exactly. So we are not going to write by someone. So this by someone, or if we have he, by him. For example, these are incorrect because we don't know about who we are talking. But here, when we have son, the doctor, teacher, student, it's necessary to write by and the doer of the action. Okay, this is for the use and the form of the passive voice. Let's move to the verb be and the conjugation of the verb be in different senses that we need, for example, while working on passive voice. So, as you can see here, you have verb be in simple present. This is just to simplify things. Is, is, are. Simple past, was, were. Present continuous. Being, is, being, or are being. It depends on the subject that we have right at the beginning of the sentence, which is in the passive. The past continuous was, being, or were being. Present perfect has been, have been. And for the last tense that we have here, past perfect, which is have been. So here, what are we doing? Just conjugating the verb be in these tenses. Then we have modals. So modals are not necessary to be memorized, but to be known. You know, of course, from the lesson of modals, you know, or you have an idea about modals or what are the modals that we have in English. So, for example, we have will, would, can, could, may, might, shall, should, needn't, mustn't, be going to, have to or has to, depends on the subject, and ought to. So, whenever we have modal in sentence which is active, and we want to put the verb be with one of these modals, so we write the modal as it is, no change, followed by be, bare infinitive. Like, for example, if we have will, we are going to say will be. Must or shall, for example, shall be. Or be going to, it's not always like that. We conjugate, or we have it already conjugated, like I am going to. So we are going to find this something like going to be. Ought to be. So this is for the verb be. And when we want to put this in the passive form, for example, we put the verb be in the tense of the verb, and the verb always in the past participle. So with all these forms of the verb be that you have here. So the principal verb in the active sentence, when it is in the passive, must be always written in the past participle form. Here we go. Now, we are going to deal with some examples or practice that we may face in national exam, or let's say the forms or the examples of exercises that we have in national exam or may have in national exam with passive voice. So, as you can see here, here we have two types of exercises. The first one, put the verbs between brackets in the correct form. This is the first type of exercise that you may have in national exam. So, pay attention. It's put the verbs between brackets in the correct form, which means it's not like this exercise. You may have one example in the part of conjugation or part of conjugating verbs in the correct tense. But here, what is important, we don't have tense. You have form. And this is very important. If you have tense, you know, of course, that we are going to deal with simple past, present perfect, present continuous, etc. If we have form, you have to pay attention. It could be passive voice, it could be infinitive gerund, it could be any other thing. So, but sometimes you have put verbs between brackets in the correct tense or form, which means you have like a mixture between tenses and passive voice or infinitive gerund or any other lesson like conditional or wish, etc. So let's see what are we going to do here. When we have here put verbs between brackets in the correct form, we have to pay attention to the sentence. It's not putting the verb in the tense, but it is something that we have since we are in passive voice. So here we are going to talk about passive voice. Look at the first sentence. We have penicillin, the verb discovered by Fleming in 1928. So what is this signal word? This is a signal word of simple past. Okay. In 1928, a single word of simple past. So, if we have Fleming as the subject, we are going to say Fleming discovered. But here, Fleming is right at the end of the sentence, and we have, at the beginning, we have the objects. Penicillin, we are going to put the verb be in the tense of the verb, originally speaking here. What is the tense? Simple past. So the verb be in simple past is was or were. With penicillin, which is singular, we are going to write was. Followed by what? Followed by the verb discover in the past participle. So this is easy because it's a regular verb, discover. Here we go. Now we move to number 2. Statements. Verb take from all the witnesses at this moment. This moment is a single word of the present continuous or present progressive. So, let's think about the verb being present progressive. It's am being, or is being, or are being. Always you have to pay attention to the beginning of the sentence, whether it is plural or singular. So, this is with a statement, so we are going to write are being. Followed, of course, by the verb in past participle, so take, we say taken. Then here we have tea grow in China. What is this? This is fact. General truth. Here we have simple present. So what are we going to say? Or what are we going to write? We should mention the verb be in simple present, which is am, or is, or are. Generally, what goes with T. So we are going to say is, plus the verb grow in the past participle, grow. And the last one in this form of exercise, the electricity was cut off because. So we have here simple past, because. So the other part of the sentence is past perfect. So we are required to mention the verb be in the past perfect, which is had been. And then followed by the verb pay in the past participle, which is paid. Here we are done with the first type of exercises. Let's move to the second one. And we, most of the time, have examples like that in national exam. And by the way, these examples are already taken from national exams. So, rewrite the sentences or the following sentences as suggested. So, what do we mean by suggested? It could be conditional if we have if. It could be, for example, reported speech, of course, if we have something like he said that, or he promised, or he ordered, etc., etc. And we could have something like passive voice if we start by the object that is already mentioned in the sentence. Like you have in your library, you have it here already as the object of sentence. So, this, the subject, will tell here the future. But here, generally, it's the future and it's mobile, will. So what are we going to do with mobiles? We have already seen that at the very beginning of the video. We have will, no change, plus be, bare infinitive, plus the verb in the past participle, belt. We're going to say belt. So, new library will be built. They is personal pronoun. Subject is unknown. So I'm not going to mention it. So, a new library will be built and we continue our sentence, for example, in our neighborhood. Here we go. Moving to the second one. They decorated Nancy's room with balloons and flowers. What's important for us in passive voice is to see the tense of the verb. So, the verb here is in the simple past. Nancy's room. The verb being in the past is was or were. Nancy's room is singular, so we are going to write was. Plus the verb in past participle. So with ed, we don't have any problem. So, was decorated. By, no, because here we have they, which is unknown too. So was decorated, and we continue the rest of the sentence with balloons and flowers. Finally, we have the third example. The two partners have negotiated a new contract. So the verb here is have negotiated, which is present perfect. So the verb in the present perfect is has been or have been. Let's see what do we have as a subject right at the very beginning of the sentence. A new contract is singular. So we're going to write has been. And the verb, of course, in the past participle, negotiated. Let's see whether we are going to write by or no. So we have subject two partners. So it's already known by the two partners. And then we have a new contract has been negotiated by the two partners. So this is how we form the passive voice or form a sentence from active to passive. Thank you everybody. Good luck.